Hello students, we are going to take the lecture number 3 for the chapter number 7. Okay, before that we are going to just summarize whatever the topic we have done in our chapter lecture number 1 and 2 itself. So we have gone through the concept of introduction, drawbacks and the advantages of state space analysis, and we have seen the various advantages over the classical technique also. So the PPT I will share it with you within a short time. So till now you just see the videos, and you are going to face the examination of this chapter separately as well. So focus on the videos as well as the PPT which I will be sharing in the future. We have taken a definition of state space, state vector, and the state space also. And what is actually the state space is we have seen with the help of block diagram. Okay, we have defined some vectors also: state vector, input vector, output vector, and we have gone through the state equation as well as the output equation. So generally we are having the final equation as x dot is equal to ax plus bu, that is the input equation, and the output equation is nothing but y is equal to cx plus du. Okay, so this is your state equation, this one is state equation, and this one is your output equation. A is equal to system matrix, B is equal to input, C is equal to output matrix, and D is equal to your transmission or the coupling matrix. Okay, so this is the dimension of each and every matrix that you have to just go through, because we require sometimes a transposition if the correct vector is not available. This is the system block diagram which you have drawn earlier also. So you can draw your system block diagram, state diagram rather, with any system which you have been provided. These are the some of the key factors that we have to remember while selecting the state variables. So generally for the electrical circuit we will be using either L or C as a state variable. Okay, so we have taken an example and we have made the state model. Okay, so this is the part of the first chapter, the first PPT, and the lecture number 1 and 2 was related to this. Now we are going to lecture number 2. Okay, so in this lecture number 2 we'll be having some solution of state equation, because we are interested in state space analysis and the solution of the state space analysis with the help of some system. So how we can do this? So our system will be either means will be having a two types. Either your system will be a forced system and the unforced system. Okay, so what is the difference between this forced system and unforced system? So forced systems are the systems those who are driving by some external energy source. Okay, and the unforced systems are the system who doesn't have any kind of a energy source within it. So I am taking an example of series RLC circuit, which is provided by some of the voltage source. Let us say this voltage source is Vi, and another system which is having a R, L and C element. Okay, and there is a no external energy sources connected. So this particular system is known as a forced system, whereas this system will be considered as a unforced system. Okay, so here the current will be flowing through this voltage source as well as the voltage, whatever the energy which is having your L and C element, it is nothing but this. Okay, but over here the current will flow due to the energy which is stored in your L element and the C element. Okay, so some will be your forced system and some will be your unforced system. So the solution of state equation will be dependent on how means which part of the system is, either it will be a forced system or the unforced system. So we are having a separate analysis of both the system, for the forced system as well as the unforced system. Okay, so first we will see the unforced system. So for the unforced system we are having a different analysis. So let us say we will be taking one of the time response analysis concept over here. So this is nothing but the time response analysis and state transition matrix. What is state transition matrix? I will explain it later, because we are having a dedicated topic over here also. So we'll be going through this concept of state space analysis also. So whenever I am writing any state variable analysis, I'll be having main equation is what? X dot is equal to a into x plus b into u, and y is equal to c into x plus d into u. So this will be my state equation and this will be your output equation. I am taking this equation number 1, or let us say this is your equation number A and this is equation number B. Okay, I am taking this equation, so I can write dx by dt is equal to ax plus b. Right now I'm talking about the unforced system. Unforced system, that means your input is 0. What does that mean? Input is 0, that means we have this part is equal to 0. This u part is 0, this u part is 0, so this is going to be multiplied by this, so this will become 0. So I will be having only this part, that is ax. Okay, because we are having a unforced system, so I can write dx by dt is equal to ax, and I am considering that your x of 0 is equal to 0. That means the initial state. Right now for the analysis purpose I am terming as x of 0 is equal to f x of 0. Okay. X of 0 is equal to, right now I am terming as a x of 0. Okay, now for the particularly homogeneous equation, I will be taking one equation. Let us say this equation is x of t is equal to b0 that is equal to b0 plus b1 into t plus b1 into t square up to last term will be bk into t raised to t. So this will be my equation number 2. Okay, this will be my equation number 1, this will be my equation number 2. Now at time t is equal to 0, I'll put time t is equal to 0. I'm writing x of 0, I'll be putting t is equal to 0. So as I said, x of 0, at x of 0 your value is nothing but x0. Okay, so if I'm putting t is equal to 0 in this condition, b1 into t 0, b1 t square, this whole term will get 0, only b0 will be present. So I can say that x of 0 is nothing but the b0. So I'm getting this equation number 3. Okay, now what I will do, I will put equation number 2 in our equation number 1. Our equation number 1 is what? Dx by dt is equal to ex. So what I have to do, I have to differentiate this term. So this d by dt of the whole term, that is nothing but b0 plus b1 into t plus b1 b2 into t square. Here it will be b2 plus up to bk into tk. Okay, and if I am doing so, I will be getting some equation of this, that is right hand side will be is a into x. So I am taking this a into x. What is x actually? X is equal to b0, the whole term, b0 plus b1 into t plus b2 into t square up to this term. Okay, we have just put the value of x of t over here. Okay, and we have put the value of ax. Okay, we have taken this equation, the first equation, dx by dt. Okay, so x differentiation over here, and ax nothing but a, that is a small, we are talking about this simple variable only. So add a and the x I have written over here. Okay, so what I have to do, I have to differentiate with respect to t. So if I am doing so, I will be getting this term, this is your constant, so it will become 0. So I will be getting b1 plus 2 into b2 into t up to k into bk into t raised to k is equal to a into bracket whatever the term, because we don't have any kind of a differentiation part over here, so b2 into t square up to. Okay. Now I have to compare the both the side, because this is a, unless and until all the coefficients are present, that means this first equation will be the constant one. The constant I will compare with the constant, the multiplication of t I will going to compare with this. Okay, so I am just so this b1 is equal to first term, that is a into b0. Okay, and another one is your 2 into b2 is equal to a into b1. Okay, just comparing this term, and the last term will be your k into bk is equal to a into bk minus. Okay, so we have got the value of b1. Okay, so b1 value we have got. Similarly I can get the value of b2 from this equation. b2 is equal to, what is b2? b2 is equal to 1 by 2 a into b1. I will put the value of b1 over here. It will be 1 by 2 a into b1. What is b1? b1 is equal to what? A into b0. So my final equation will be 1 by 2 1 by 1 by 2 a square one by 2 a square into b0. Okay, so similarly I will find out, we have got the value of b1, we have found out the value of b3 as well. So what I have to do, I have to take this another variable b3 is equal to 1 by 3 into a into b2. So I have to put this b2 value over here. So it will be 1 by 2 a into b2. What is b2? It is nothing but 1 by, sorry, for b3 we will be having a b2. For the b2 value, it is nothing but a into b1. 1 by 2 sorry 1 by 3 over here, a into b2. What is the value of b2? 1 by 2 a square into b0. Okay, so my answer will be 3 into 2 into bracket a cube into b0. Okay, so if I'm keep going like this, I can write this as well over here. So this is nothing but the 1 upon 2 factorial a square into b0. It is nothing but 1 upon 3 factorial a cube into b0. So if I'm keep doing this, I'll be having this term. First term which is actually present over here is this one. So we'll be having a b1, this term. Okay, another one is your b2 term and b3 term. Okay, so for bk I can write this equation like this also. So this is your bk is equal to 1 upon k factorial a raised to k into b0. Okay, so this is the generalized form of all the variables of b. Okay, b0, b1, sorry b1, b2, b3 up to bk. Now what I have to do, I have the equation of this x0, this one, x of t. Okay, in this equation I will put all the values. Okay, so we have b1, we have found out, b2 as well, and we have found out bk as well. Okay, so I am just putting all the values in this equation number 2. So my equation will be looking like this. X of t is equal to b0 plus a into b0 into t plus 1 by 2 factorial into t square into b0 t square up to we have got the last values of k as well. So 1 upon k factorial a raised to k into b0 into t raised to t. Okay, so just simplifying this formula, taking b0 as a common quantity because all the values are having a b0, so I'm taking the common, so it will be 1 plus a into t plus 1 upon 2 factorial a square into t square up to 1 upon k factorial a raised to k b0 into t raised to. Okay, so this is our main equation. So x of t is equal to this. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to put the value of b0. What is b0 actually? In the earlier slide we have found out this b0 is equal to what? b0 is equal to your x of 0. Okay, so in the equation number 3 we have derived the b0 is equal to x of 0, so I can replace this as a x of 0. So same will be available over here also. Okay, now what is this particularly, this whole part, the bracket part is actually e raised to at. Okay, so if we are having if you know the formula of e raised to at, it is nothing but e raised to at. So I can write like this, it is equal to x of 0 into e raised to a into t. So your x of t is now the final equation we are getting as a equation number 4. Okay, so this is nothing but, okay, now this we have taken as a small variable having a small some scalar value. So for if I want to find out in terms of a values, will be having a all the values in terms of a x dot t is equal to capital A into x of t. Okay, now what you have to do, our x of t, sorry, capital X of t, I can write e raised to at into x. Okay, this one is the capital. So this is the final equation we are getting for the solution of any state equation which is in a scalar form. Okay, but over here we can't use a matrix, so this is your scalar form, and if you want to go for the matrix form you have to follow this formula. Okay, so I am reconsidering this is equation number 5 also. So this is the main concept of your x of t concept, in which we are having a unforced response. The input is not given in our circuit, so we are getting this. Okay, so what is the observation we have made over here is it can be observed from without input, initial state x0 drives the state x of t at any time t. Thus the transition of initial state x of 0 from initial time t is equal to 0 to any time t through the matrix e raised to at. Okay, So initially the value was x of 0 was only some variable, let us say that is a b0 only, but at the final stage x of t is equal to e raised to at into x of 0. So this x of 0, that was the initial stage, and the initial at the final stage, this is going to multiply it by this quantity. Okay, so we have to consider this part because the initial part is well known to us. Okay, so we'll not bother about the last part, but we will be considering this as this part. Okay, so this e raised to at we have to consider. So for e raised to at, I can write like this is our final equation, or we have to consider this final equation e raised to at. So e raised to at, it is nothing but the I plus a into t plus 1 upon 2 factorial a square t square up to 1 upon k factorial 1 upon k factorial a raised to k t raised to k. Okay, so this e raised to at is nothing but the, it is known as a state transition matrix. It is known as a state transition matrix. Okay, generally it is termed as like this also, phi of t. Phi of t is equal to e raised to a t. Okay, and if you are having an initial condition at time t is equal to 0, it will be written as e is equal to t minus t0. Okay, so in this particular lecture we have introduced new term that is called as a state transition matrix. Okay, for unforced system. Okay, unforced, that means you have a system in which you don't have any kind of a excitation. Done. So this is the concept. Now this is the first example or the first analysis of unforced system. In the classical approach we will be talking about the state space analysis. Okay, so in the state space model, the main equation is x dot is equal to ax plus bu into and output equation is y is equal to cx plus du. Okay, as we know that we are having unforced system, so the input is 0, so you will put u is equal to 0 in system. If I am putting equation number 1, u is equal to 0, so you will be having x dot is equal to a into x. Okay, I will be using this separation of variable, that means all the x terms are over here, all the x terms are on the one side and all the derivative terms are on the right hand side. Okay, so x dot is nothing but the dx by dt is equal to ax, so dx by dt, so that is dx by x I will be putting at the one side and a into dt on the right hand side. So it is nothing but the separation of the variable. Okay, I want to remove this d concept, so I will be integrating at the both side. So I will take the limit from x of 0 to x of t, left hand side dx by dx, and the right hand side 0 to t a into dt. So if I am doing so, this integration will become ln x x0 to xt, and right hand side it will be a into t. Okay, so I'll be putting limit over here, so it will be ln x of t minus ln x of 0 is equal to a into t. As we know that ln of x t minus ln of x of 0, it will become xt by x0. So we'll be getting a final equation x of t by x of 0 is equal to e raised to at. So putting this x of 0 and the right hand side, so x of t is equal to e raised to at into x of 0. The same equation we have derived in this equation also. Okay, so we derive this x of t is equal to a into x of t, and the second method we have gone through like this also. So this is the two method for deriving this solution of state equation. The third method is the solution of state equation with the help of Laplace transformation. Okay, so we'll take this also. So the state equation is given as x dot is equal to ax plus bu. We will put u is equal to 0 in this equation. So x dot is equal to ax. Okay, now I am taking the Laplace on the both side. Okay, so if I am taking the Laplace on the both side, okay, so here it is a derivative term. So if I am taking the derivation of any Laplace, it will be become s into xs, okay, minus x of 0. This x of 0 is present because initial conditions means we have to consider initial condition also. So this a into x of s. Okay, right now we are considering initial condition are set to 0. So this x of 0 becomes 0. So this s into x is equal to ax. Okay, I will be covering this, means I will be converting this on a left hand side. So this xs will be in a common quantity. So it will be si minus a. There will be a no variable over here. So I have to put the identity matrix because we are going to multiply, divide, as well as the addition of the matrix. For each and every operation we require matrix have a same size. So I will multiply it with the identity matrix. So x of s is into bracket si minus a is equal to x of 0. So, okay, so x of s is equal to, okay, this will be, if I am putting into right hand side, it will be inverse si minus a inverse is equal to x of 0. Okay, now I have to find out the x of t. So I will take the inverse Laplace of this. So x of s inverse Laplace will become x of t, inverse Laplace of si minus a inverse, Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse. We don't have any kind of x of 0, so it will be this. Okay, so x of t is equal to Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse x of 0. Okay, so si minus a inverse I am terming as a phi of s. Okay, phi of s is known as a resolvent matrix. Okay, so just there is a difference between the resolvent matrix and state transition matrix. So this phi of s is equal to Laplace inverse of si minus a inverse. Okay, another concept was phi of t, or the x of t is equal to e raised to at into x of 0. Okay, so there is a difference. It is your resolvent matrix. Okay, this one is your resolvent matrix, and it is equal to your, this e raised to at is nothing but the state transition matrix. Okay, so in examination it might happen that you will be asked to find out any of this matrix, either it will be a resolvent matrix or the state transition matrix. Okay, so the resolvent matrix is nothing but phi of s is equal to si minus a inverse. Okay, sorry. Okay, the state transition matrix, as we have derived, e raised to at is equal to phi t Laplace transform inverse of si minus a, identity matrix, plus a into t plus a into t square upon 2 factorial plus a into t cube upon 3 factorial raised to. So you have to find out Laplace e raised to at as well as Laplace transformation. Now we will see the solution of state equation. As we know that the solution of state equation is given in this format. So we will be having another lecture on this for solution of state equation, followed by the properties of state transition matrix. Okay, so for the lecture we'll have gone through the concept of force system and unforced system and the derivation of this two concepts. So there are total 3 derivation of solution of state equation. First will be your simple vector form that I have done in a Scratchpad. Okay, and the monitor itself. Second method is nothing but the simple method in which we have gone through the with the help of classical approach, and the third method is nothing but the Laplace transformation approach. Thank you.